guys, welcome back to The Bright Side. Macy here, The Bright Side Girl, and today we're going to be doing October TBR. As you know, we have just started Not So Scary-a-thon, which is my fall Halloween themed readathon. I will link all the information up in the cards. Although we are already 4 days in, you can still jump in anytime. This readathon runs until October 9th, so because of that, I am not going to have a lot of time in the rest of the month to finish up the reads. I am already feeling the pressure because there's so many fall and spooky reads that I want to get to. And when I say spooky, I just mean like atmospheric, lightly kind of mysterious and creepy, nothing like super scary. But my fall reads shelf is so much bigger than any of my other like themed shelves, and I always want to get to as many as possible. I've already done a September TBR video where I talked about some of the things I wanted to get to for fall. I'll link up in the cards. I already did a Not So Scary-a-thon TBR video, which recently kind of came out, so I'll link that up in the cards. These are books that I know that I will not get to for Not So Scary-a-thon, but that I really want to before the end of the month. So we're gonna dive right in. The Beautiful by Renee Audier. So this is supposedly a vampire trilogy. I've heard people say that it's not vampire. I don't really know how that happens, but I want to check it out. I've never done anything by Renee Audier yet. I have the first two in the series. I literally know nothing else except that I think it's set in New Orleans in the 1800s and there's supposedly vampires. So we're gonna find out. I'm really excited to get to it, and I think a couple of my friends might get to it as well. Okay, Name of the Star by Maureen Johnson. I think I've had this book, well, I've kind of hauled and rehauled it a couple times, but it has been on my TBR list probably since I started YouTube like 5 years ago. So this is a Jack the Ripper retelling. It's about a girl from Louisiana and she goes to London to go to like a boarding school, and I think when she gets there, there's like a series of brutal murders that take place that kind of mimic Jack the Ripper from the 1800s. It kind of makes me feel like maybe his ghost has something to do with it. I don't really know. I'm not really sure. I don't think it's going to be super scary because it's still a young adult book, but I want to check it out, and I have for a long time, and I think I have the first two. Serpent and Dove by Shelby Morin. So I kind of missed out on the craze when everybody was really excited about this. I think the last book came out last year. I believe it's about a witch and a witch hunter and they fall in love, and that was kind of like all I needed to know. I've heard amazing things, and I'm really excited to try it out because this is one of the like slightly newer series that I'm behind on. Give the Dark My Love by Beth Revis. I read Beth Revis Across the Universe series for Galaxy-a-thon. I absolutely loved it. It's a total space book, so it's going to be very different than this. I know there's like a school setting in here, and our main character is like going to a certain school to master like certain types of alchemy and magic, and I think it has something to do with necromancy. It's duology. I'm just really excited to check it out because it's by Beth Revis, and I've had it on my TBR for a couple years now. Okay, Small Favors by Erin A. Craig. I've heard amazing things about this. I was going to get to it for my 5-star TBR vlog, which again I'll link up in the cards. I asked a bunch of my friends at the end/beginning of the year what their 5-star books were of 2021, and this appeared on a lot of people's lists. I really love her House of Salt and Sorrows book, which was a 12 Dancing Princess retelling. I think this is a loose Rumpelstiltskin retelling. I'm not positive on that though. I know it's got some spooky vibes despite the cover, and yeah, I'm just excited to see how I feel about it. Again, I'm sorry, I don't really know much more about it other than I love the author, and it's supposed to be mildly Rumpelstiltskin, mildly spooky, fall atmospheric. Bright Smoke, Cold Fire. Again, one of my oldest like must-read fall books by Rosamund Hodge. This is a Romeo and Juliet retelling with zombies. That's all I know. Again, I love Rosamund Hodge. I've read her Cruel Beauty and Crimson Bound, which are Beauty and the Beast and Sleeping Beauty retellings. Absolutely loved them. So excited to check this one out. A little bummed because I did the audiobook for the other two, and I love that narrator so much, and she doesn't do these, but I think there's still a good narrator that does these. So we've got some spooky romance in here. Romeo and Juliet retelling, which I have never read. Excited. And then lastly, and I don't know why, I'm just so determined to get to this series, so Something Strange and Deadly by Susan Dennard. I've never read Susan Dennard before. This is set in Philadelphia. I believe that it's like Gothic Victorian, but I'm not entirely sure. It could be modern. I know it has something to do with the main character being like a zombie hunter. I found out recently that I kind of like zombie books. They were not what I expected them to be. They're usually not as scary as you think, and then it's usually about like the main girl being like a badass and trying to go and like fight the zombies or figure out what's happening. So excited to check this one out. And it's a full trilogy. I think all of those I'm going to be doing on audiobook. I'm able to get them through my library, but I like having the physical copies to show you guys and to take pictures and stuff as well. Wish me luck. Let me know down in the comments if you have read any of these, if you enjoyed any of them, which ones I should bump up on my TBR first after the readathon. Let me know if you're participating in the readathon, if you're having a good time, and stay tuned for tomorrow's video. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at The Bright Side Girl, especially during the readathon for all the fun fall vibes. And I'll see you guys next time on The Bright Side.